and welcome to this special edition. I am Jennifer Jabbar. Joining me on today's program is Dr. Peter Ramsaroop, who has been appointed just 2 weeks now as Chief Executive Officer in the Guyana Office for Investment. The Guyana Office for Investment now falls under the Office of the President, the purview of the Office of the President, and Peter will be playing an integral and crucial role as Guyana advances as one of the world's largest oil producer and an emerging market. Guyana will be seeking to attract investment globally, especially from the United States, China, across Europe, and generally across the globe. So Peter's role in Guyana as it advances over the next 5 years and beyond will be crucial to attract investment, to ensure that we create a playing field and an environment that is conducive to investors, especially because Guyana has been plagued in the past with a lot of bureaucracy and red tape, whereby investors, you would have had a hard time, having to move from one ministry to the next and so forth in order to invest. So what Peter and I will be talking about today is creating what Peter says, this one window where people can go, investors and so forth will go to have a ease and, wouldn't have too much trouble and so forth to invest in Guyana and find it to be an environment that is welcoming to investors. So, Peter, I want to welcome you to today's program and thank you very much for the opportunity, as I believe your role in Guyana, as I mentioned, is going to be very crucial as we advance into the future. So, first of all, Guyana Office for Investment, how has the past 2 weeks been so far for you?
Well, we're in some exciting times. It's, I thank the president for giving me this opportunity to work along him to bring about the investments needed for our beautiful country. I see an exciting 5 years ahead of us. I believe investors around the world are looking at us very, very seriously. In the last 5 months, they have noticed how our people in Guyana have fought for democracy. We believe in the rule of law. We will ensure those things continue. That should build investor confidence that no one will allow Guyana to go in any backward way going, and we will continue to move forward. So the next 5 years, based on our president's plan for the nation in his transformative agenda, will be great. And my last 2 weeks is getting up to speed and where we're at, looking at the budget for the rest of 2020 and looking at our longer vision for the next 5 years as Guyana continues to develop its people and its natural resources.
So Peter, as the CEO of GINVEST, everyone coming to Guyana already has a preconceived idea about Guyana. Everybody has an idea of what they think Guyana is about. What would be your selling point, your selling message for Guyana as the CEO? How would you sell Guyana?
One, we're an attractive jurisdiction. Our growth trajectory for 2020 is at 22+%. That's the highest in the world. Next year, we're about to grow at a significant GDP. We are going through what we call an infrastructure boom. We are looking at some significant large projects, multi-billion US dollar worth of projects, bridging the Suriname to Guyana route. Looking at bridging, continuing, there's already been bridged between Brazil and Guyana, running the route through to a deep water harbor, another $1 billion project that will see massive shipping industry moving goods to the northern Brazil market. But Berbice will be where the larger ships that come through the Panama Canal coming into the deep water harbor, compared to no large ships can come into any of our ports at this point. So you find the smaller ships coming in. So you develop the large ships, tie that trade to the northern Brazilian market and to the Suriname market. It is a necessity, and it's a infrastructure requirement as part of our growth trajectory. The Demerara Bridge, we're looking at building 2,000 miles of road, So Guyana is about to be transformed in a way that, you know, people around the world have seen other countries like Singapore and areas such as Dubai. We are in that same level of growth and probably at a much faster rate. The infrastructure boom, the transformative agenda of our young president is significant. You know, the initiatives that will put jobs on the market, 50,000 new housing program. We've got a expression of interest out right now for an investment of $250 million US. We saw that the DFC, the US delegation team, which included the Department of Commerce, the Department of State, the DFC, which is the banking institution of the United States government, come to Guyana over the last few days. Over, you know, $206 billion US is available to Guyana to capitalize on. That's from our infrastructure projects. And they're even committed to funding Guyanese companies' initiatives, committed to American companies that are Guyanese owned to come into Guyana and fund. So we are in countries around the world. You saw what Exxon does. They have sold out a lot of their assets around the world to invest in Guyana. Hess Corporation, another oil company, sold out a lot of their assets recently to concentrate on Guyana. Guyana is the new wave. It's the new wave of South America. It's the new wave of the Caribbean. It's a new wave for our diaspora to look at. And we are ready. We're open for investments. Our people, our businesses locally, we're stepping up to the higher plate. We're looking at our certification levels that need to be in place. We are doing a lot of more training of our employees. The university is being expanded to meet some of the needs, but there's room, lots of room for folks to come into Guyana. We've got 83,000 square miles, the size of Great Britain, with less than 1 million people. We can handle multi-million immigrants over the next few years with a sustained immigration policy, with a sustained growth for our people locally and our business. Guyana is the attractive jurisdiction for the world going forward. As the Wall Street said, we will be the fastest growing economy in the world starting now. And if you want that ride, Guyana is the place to be.
You see the railroad and connecting the deep south to the Deepwater Harbor in Berbice and connecting, that would really interconnect the entire country.
Connects the entire South America, because from Brazil you can go through all the way. And right now you can from Guyana. There's the Brazilian government did commission a bridge along with the Guyana government across the Actu River. Yes, as we put the road or rail system throughout, it opens up a vast set of lands. You know, when you drive from Georgetown to the border of Brazil, Latam and Guyana, and you drive through what we call the trail right now, I tell people it's like I'm driving through Colorado, I'm driving through Wyoming, I'm driving through Iowa. There's so many different landscapes in Guyana that the expansion, you know, when you create a road, you create an exit, and every exit creates an industry or a town or a village. And I see that is how Guyana will expand. And new areas that you may not have thought that could be developed will be developed. There's so many natural resources throughout our country that will become accessible. As the PPP manifesto under Dr. Finali said, 2,000 miles of road. We need 2,000 hotel rooms. The Ministry of Tourism has put out an expression of interest that they're looking for large-scale hotel development. That's due on the 2nd of November. From that, they will down select hotels that needs to be in Guyana. We're looking for hotels being built close to the international airport. We're looking to expand the hotels along the seawall, so you can have a boardwalk. For those who have gone to Atlantic City, you know that boardwalk. You come to Guyana in the next few years, you will see something like that in our tourism industry.
As part of your mandate as the CEO, how will you ensure, is there like a contract, like when a new investor come to say that so much percentage of your workforce has to be Guyanese?
Well, we are in the process as a government. Dr. Irfan Ali has chartered advisory panel on local content. The goal is to develop a very strong local content legislation to protect Guyanese, which is our first right, that we want to make sure that our Guyanese businesses benefit, our people in our country benefit, and our natural resources just don't disappear around the world. But companies coming in will have some guidelines in terms of the employment percentages, investment. We're pushing the joint venture approach to our local businesses. But yeah, local content will play a significant role as we create the investment portfolio that is needed for our country to grow. We do need the foreign direct investments. There's no doubt about it. Every country needs that. We need expansion of our foreign direct investment, but we want to also enhance our local direct input and see our indigenous companies grow and employ our people also.
So one of the things that has affected Guyana in the past is the high cost of manufacturing because, with the electricity and so forth. What is happening to push that agenda so that we can have electricity available with from the gas sector, as well as liberalizing the telecommunications sector? I just saw that last week. How will those two sectors play an integral role? Because the business community will be concerned about those two major aspects.
Well, our president has committed to an integrated energy solution for Guyana. We have the natural gas capacity in the oil wells. They're looking at this point to pipe that natural gas to shore. That's an immediate project that the president has outlined, tying that with an integrated energy plan of solar, retooling the Amalia Falls project for hydro and wind power. We expect that energy costs over the next few years to drop by 50%. We will be competitive in the manufacturing world. We have, the sugar industry has been retooled. Other industries such as, we have one of the best grain sand that can be turned into glass in the manufacturing industry. We've got some of the best bauxite in the world that can be refined right here in Guyana. So I see energy costs, as the president talks about, coming down by 50%. So again, you've got to skate to where the puck is going to be. You can't wait for the energy costs to come down in 2-3 years and then say you want to come to Guyana. You've got to know that those plans are in place, they're being executed. You skate into where the puck, you get your operation going now. In 2.5 years, you're able then to reap the benefits. The liberalization of the telecommunication industry opens up the competition in the digital world. We have moved with the COVID-19 much more in the digital environment. The bandwidth that is needed in our nation, the expansion of our digital banking industry is going to be important. So these are what you're seeing is transformative policies by the government led by Dr. Irfan Ali that is geared towards making Guyana that investment opportunity, making Guyana a place to live, a place for all of us to enjoy. We've got some of the best landscape around the world. When you travel into the interior of Guyana, it's beautiful. I went up the Berbice River all the way through to Kokwani the other day, and you have cliffs similar to those who know Dover Cliffs in London. Not as high, but beautiful. And the ecotourism industry also is another big focus for our country. As COVID-19, people realize they can't go to hotels in major cities and really enjoy themselves. They want be much more out in the open. Ecotourism is another significant growth area in our country, and the agriculture sector. We've got mass land. We can get into large plantation agriculture, cattle industry, dairy plants, and as we build that deep water harbor, it changes the landscape of Guyana.
As a remigrant, what was one of your driving forces or driving factor to remigrate?
I think they just the love of country. I mean, a lot of us. I left when I was 18, so I had every possible childhood memories of Guyana. I came back early 2000, and I haven't basically left. I've traveled a lot, but I have not left. I believe, I feel at home in Guyana. Yes, I could probably do much better, in a nice condo on the beach in South Florida. But, when you're able to contribute to your home country, when you're able to see people's life get better, that's what our president is committed to. That's what some of us are aligned to. And, being here and being at home and being part of this growth in the next 5 years, I'm glad that I took the risk decades ago to say that I'm now committed to ensure that our people benefit going forward. And Dr. Irfan Ali's plan as outlined, and if you just look at the last 2.5 months, what Dr. Ali and his administration has done for Guyana in the last 2.5 months, the previous government did not even come close in 5 years in delivering any of their promises to our nation. Dr. Ali has come in and 2.5 months have changed our environment, changed our trajectory, created the excitement among our people, created the investment opportunities, and I can only see that going forward in a significant manner over the next 5 years under his leadership.
Well, Peter, on that note, I'm someone who would have interacted with you from the very first instance when you remigrated in Guyana. And we've had our relationship started since when I was in the media, and I've done numerous interviews with you. And I know you're a very passionate person, especially about the economy and Guyana progressing. And I feel very happy for you to see you here now, having, come to this point to make such a contribution, a great contribution to Guyana, to propel us into the future of great things. So I want to wish you all the best. And I want to let you know that you're always welcome to update us on what's happening, because the diaspora is very much interested. And as we begin the conversation about diaspora engagement, you'll see several other programs here with key players in the diaspora talking about their vision and what they expect and so forth as we go forward. So as someone from the diaspora, remigrant, a businessman, economist, and now CEO of GINVEST, I want to thank you so much for being a part of today's program and enlightening our viewers, especially those in the diaspora, and bringing us up to speed on what's been happening in Guyana. And we really look forward to great things going forward. And I wish you all the best. And truly, when we return to Guyana 2025, I'm sure we wouldn't recognize it.
Thank you.